What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at air signs. So let's jump straight in. The link for this site will be down below. Obviously I'll be linking the air page predominantly, but within the page are links to the fire, earth and water, which will be next month's. So the element of air is attached to the signs Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, and that is in cycle order, with Aries as a fire sign being the first sign. So Gemini is 3rd, Libra is 7th, Aquarius, is 11th. It also rules the 3rd, 7th and 11th houses, which, now that it brings it up, are so the 3rd house, the house of sharing, ruled by Gemini. It rules communication, distribution and generosity, intelligence and development, siblings, obviously being Gemini, the twins, siblings would come into there, locomotion and transportation, and ephemera, which, if the internet is still working on this, we will lasting for a very short time. So things that last for a short time. Geminis are here for a good time, not a long time. Good to know. The 7th house, the house of the balance, ruled by Libra, me. Partnerships, marriage and business matters, diplomacy, agreements, contracts, and all things official, which if you saw my story time video, you know that I like to go off the official things, and equilibrium. So between diplomacy and equilibrium, you know I like things done fairly. I'm actually not sure. I think I have a couple of things in my 7th house, if I'm being honest. And then the 11th house, the one ruled by Aquarius, the house of blessings. So ruling benefits from effort, friends and acquaintances of like-minded attitudes, being very specific there. Belonging and the sense thereof. Don't mind me just having PTSD flashbacks of year 12 when that was the theme for my English assignment. Groups, communities and associations, charity, connectedness and networking, love, wish fulfillment and wealth. So those are the houses that are ruled by air signs. So air is ratified, it's ratified rather, that air is usually surrounded. This is not going well at all. I tried to sort of jump in the sentence halfway through and it's not working. It's rarefied air that usually surrounds those graced by this element, as this is the marker of the intellectual. Where are my Ravenclaws at? Airy people are smart thinkers and handle abstract reasoning well. They love to analyze, synthesize and probe. We're those annoying friends that will ask 20 questions. Best know that once we finish asking our 20 questions, we've got your answer, because we have thought through every logical, logistical, mathematical, physical problem and solution to your issue. So if you have a dilemma, hand it over, do an air sign, and just watch us go to work. Just watch us go to work. Now, with this, it is worth noting, my father is also a Libra like me, and my mother is a Gemini. My older brother is an Aquarius. His current partner is also an Aquarius, which is kind of, it wigs me out. They're both double Aquariuses, but one's got a moon sign, one's got a rising, and I don't like it. It's too much Aquarian energy in the age of Aquarius, so there's a little bit of ego going with them as well, and it's just not for me right now. But the only member of my family that isn't an air sign is my younger sister, and she's a Capricorn. So yeah, air signs are also about communication. Communication, or the lack thereof, has been the reason most of my relationships haven't worked. I'm hoping to change that. I am currently talking to someone at the moment who I think is quite special. Not me simping, I swear to God. But also, to quote the movie Whip It, Stick It. Quote the movie Stick It. When's being whipped ever been a bad thing? And simping is just the I'm not yet in a relationship version of that. Like, simping is just the single version of being whipped. Let's be honest about that. Besides the point, yeah, I'm hoping that goes well, because at the moment, with my current financial status and the fact that I'm studying online, they're also studying, but they're like at uni, so they're like in Sydney, and they recently also just got a job, which, you know, I couldn't be happier for them. But it does mean that finding time to just sort of, you know, have a texting conversation sort of thing is a little bit difficult, because I've got to try and work around them studying and them working, plus me studying and working, and just generally having anxiety and depression and no money. So yeah, but yeah, good times. Yeah. Oh, true. I just realized air's all about communication, and Mercury is in retrograde. Thank you, little sidebar thing. We're gonna get to that in a second, because that's important. Gemini's ruled by Mercury, so we're gonna look at that. Also, the actual metal Mercury itself is a liquid. It is like the only metal that's a liquid at room temperature. So yeah. So no, air signs are also about communication. These individuals want to get the word out, and it's not likely to be fluff, despite all of the distractions that I just had in my head coming out of my mouth. They are alert, curious, and perceptive. The world as seen by an air sign will be an interesting one, as their analysis and subsequent explanation. I love that this is in brackets, because this is literally me every time I make a video. Hopefully in terms you guys understand. Will indicate. So those influenced by air are inventive and clever. They see all sides of the equation and are able to glean the best approach. Balance is also important to airy folk. They are so the air signers. No. So, are air signers fresh as a summer breeze, or are they howling like the wind? I love this. Probably both. Not as consisting of Gemini, which is literally represented by two faces. Libra, which is literally represented by scales, which compares one thing to another. And Aquarius, who a lot of people think simply because it has aqua in the name should be a water sign, but the actual mythology behind it is it's a mortal that's been brought to Olympus as a mortal, not being deified or anything, just as a mortal living on Olympus with the gods, carrying their drinks. So he's literally the mortal amongst gods. Like even when like Hercules and before him Perseus ascended to demigodhood, like at least they got deified and had hero cults. No one had a hero cult about Ganymede. He was just pretty enough that this was like, I'd hit that. Bring him up here so he can serve me wine. Like, Hornbag. But yeah, so probably both, depending on when you catch them. While these folks are often calm and collected, they can turn cold if their equilibrium is upset. Oh yeah. I mean, my the Mystic Mondays deck of tarot cards, Queen of Swords inverted, one of its keywords is literally just Ice Queen, because we can get fucking cold. And if we go off what my Weaver Tarot's little card in the top of it tells us, and I'm bringing up swords because they're the air sign. If we have a look at, right, swords is just there, air is right there next to it. Now for this one, sovereign is the queen, and the first thing it says is embodiment of suit. So if even the embodiment of of the airy sword suit is gonna say Ice Queen, yeah, we can get real fucking cold. Like, I hope you packed your thermals cold. A word to the wise, there's little upside in baiting an air sign. There's even less in baiting me. I have a Mercury, a Venus, a Jupiter, and a Pluto in Scorpio. I know my chart like very well. I can't remember what my Lilith and North Node were though. I've got to refresh on those. I think they're like the only two things that I can't remember. Anyway, another plus with the air signs are that air sort of manifests itself in the most humane way. So we're good with the humanities, particularly I think I saw Aquarius was the best with these. Those influenced by air can truly wear another's shoes, as it were. And that probably goes, that actually makes a lot of sense. The biggest thing that I was taught growing up, because my family when I was younger was religious, the biggest thing that I was taught growing up was essentially the second commandment is sort of like the be-all and end-all, right? Like, except that, if God created humans in his own image, then that obviously also extended to humans as well. Like, honor him by honoring other people, sort of a thing. Love thy neighbor, which is exactly what commandment 2 is. Love thy neighbor as, I think the commandment's like in this, love them the same way you love me, but you can also sort of put it to like, love them the same way I love you, sort of thing. Treat people how you want to be treated, sort of a deal. So that makes a lot of sense. If air is able to wear another person's shoes, empathy certainly comes with that. Air signs are also objective, cooperative, and really want to help make the world a better world. So I think that sort of, if you were unconvinced that the Age of Aquarius has already started, that should be enough. And it started recently. Because Gen Z is now old enough to start being able to vote. Like, they've been able to vote now. The elder Gen Zers have been able to vote for a couple of years now. Obviously, we're still in the process of like each year more Gen Z can vote, which means a lot more change for the better world that they want, and that they are managing to push through in the age of technology, the age of information. So if you're unconvinced that the Age of Aquarius didn't start recently, let that be the sign. It has. the age of Aquarius is here, it's thriving, and it is done with the old Piscean ways. There's no prejudice with airfolk, just a bright and shiny idealism that can accomplish much. It says much. I was trying to think of a better word. But yeah, it can accomplish a whole heap. It's gonna do a lot of good. And again, maybe that means that, you know, that official break sort of a thing for the age of Pisces, age of Aquarius sort of thing was in the late 90s when the split was between 96 and 97. Maybe. Cool. So last but not least on this page, it says air signs are communicative, intellectual, clever and fair. They can blow hot and cold, though, so beware of a chilly draft. I mean, by that logic as well, be careful we don't get too hot around you as well, because too much heat burns, too much cold burns. You want to try and keep us right in there, that equilibrium, because yeah, we're temperamental as fuck. Let's be honest, we are temperamental AF. Yep. But yeah, that's all I've got for this video. So smash that subscribe button if you're new here, ring the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. Leave a comment down below. Are you an air sign? Or do you have any air signs in your chart? If so, where are they? I will leave a link to this page and all of its fun little bits on the side. There is literally, the latest article was posted like 2 days ago. Mercury retrograde in Gemini is sure to be a wild ride. And it finishes June 22nd, I believe. Which is when we sort of go into Cancer. So the time of the retrograde ends, we'll be in a water sign. But I'll leave the link to this, and I'll also leave a link to a sort of like free birth chart page. You just sort of go in there, put in your name, preferred pronouns, your birth date, the location of your birth, because that is also very important if you want your ascendant to be accurate. Sort of hit submit, and then you can have like the full breakdown, and it goes really in depth into it. It's great. So I'll leave those two links in the description down below. If you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up, and until next time guys, keep your head screwed on.